Hello. So all of you join. Yes, sir. हाँ देर की हाँ रेडी का हेलो all of you attend. All of you join. Okay. In the last classes, we discussed what is boiling, what are the boiling regimes, what is boiling types, pool boiling, forced convection boiling, subcooled boiling, and super saturated boiling. After that, we have discussed boiling regimes like so free convection, boiling, second one nucleate boiling, and third one film boiling. So how the boiling curve varies? Initially, when the temperature difference is low, that is for free convection boiling. As the temperature, excess temperature increases and heat flux increases and reaches maximum, and the maximum heat flux is known as critical heat flux. So for any material, you're supposed to heat up to the critical heat flux. Okay, na? So what is nuclear boiling? What is film boiling? So we have discussed theory part, and I have given in the last class the different correlations for nuclear boiling and film boiling. Okay, na? So today we'll discuss some problems on this boiling. A wire, first problem. A wire of, all of read the problem. A wire of 1.2 mm diameter and 200 mm length is submerged horizontally in water at 7 bar. The wire carries a current of 135 amperes with an applied voltage of 2.18 volts. If the surface of the wire is maintained at 200 degrees centigrade, calculate the heat flux and second bit boiling heat transfer coefficient. A wire of the given a wire of 1.2 mm diameter of the wire 1.2 mm and length of the wire 200 mm is submerged horizontally in water. So liquid medium is water, and we are heating that wire. Water pressure 7 bar. The wire just like electrical wire, copper wire. Inside insulation there will be copper wire, aluminum wire will be there. So the wire carries a current of 135 amperes with an applied voltage of 2.18 volts. So current 135 amperes, voltage 2.18 volts. If the surface of the wire is maintained at 200 degrees centigrade, surface temperature of the wire 200 degrees centigrade. So first you have to calculate the heat flux. How do you calculate heat flux? Heat transfer Q is equal to, so capital Q, heat transfer, voltage into current. So electrical energy input to the wire with the help of some electrical heater, you are supplying input heat to the wire. How do you find out? He has given the voltage, he has given the current. So VI from the basics of that, if you know the voltage and current, heat that is developed from the material of the wire, that is VI. So like that heat flux. So once you got the capital Q, that heat transfer rate, heat flux can be calculated by dividing with area. And boiling heat transfer coefficient, how do you calculate? So heat transfer rate, small q is equal to H into area 1 meter square. That is heat flux is equal to H into Ts, surface temperature minus T saturation temperature. So here diameter of the wire given, length of the wire given, and because just like a cylindrical wire, so surface area, how do you calculate? Pi dl, pi into 3.14 into diameter 1.2 in 10 power minus 3 meters into L 200 mm. Okay, 200 into 10 power minus 3 in meters. And water is at a pressure of 7 bar. The wire carries a current of 135 amperes with an applied voltage of 2.18 volts. Here supplying voltage of 2.18 volts and the current carrying by the wire 135 amperes. So here with the help of electrical heater, you are heating that wire. That's why how do you get the heat input? by multiplying voltage with the current. And surface temperature of the wire is 200 degrees centigrade. And so here we have to calculate heat flux and boiling heat transfer coefficient. How we are going to calculate the heat flux and boiling heat transfer coefficient? So we'll discuss now. So given data, diameter of the wire 1.2 mm, that is 0.0012 meters. Length of the wire 200 mm, that is equal to 0.2 meters. So current 135 amperes, voltage 2.18 volts, surface temperature of the wire 200 degrees centigrade. And heat flux Q, how do you calculate heat flux? Flux, heat transfer rate by area. Small q is equal to heat transfer rate by divided by area, heat flux. For that, first you have to calculate the heat transfer rate Q. How do you find out in this example? Because it is given the voltage and the current. That's why electrical heat energy input, electrical energy input, that is heat energy to the wire given as Q is equal to voltage into current. Voltage 2.18 into current given as 135 amperes. From this, you are getting the heat transfer rate of, that is energy input, the 294.3 watts. 294.3 watts. Next, surface area of the wire. How do you calculate surface area? Area is surface area, pi dl, because it's just like cylindrical shape. It is cylindrical shape. So pi dl. Pi dl. From the cylinder, how do you get surface area? Circumference into length. Pi d circumference. Length of cylinder L. That's pi dl. Pi into diameter of the wire 0.0012 meters into 0.2. Length of the wire 0.2. So surface area of the wire 7.5. If you calculate this one, 7.54 into 10 power minus 4 meters square. Then heat flux, first bit. How do you calculate heat flux? Heat flux, total heat transfer rate divided by area. Total heat transfer rate divided by area. That is equal to total heat transfer rate from the electrical energy input, that is 294.3. So 294.3 divided by area, 7.5 into 10 power minus 4, that you have calculated now. From this heat flux, so 0.39 megawatt. So from watts into 10 power minus 10 power 6 megawatts. So 0.39 megawatts per meter square. If you want to convert in watts, you have to multiply with 10 power 6. So if you calculate this one, heat flux 0.39 megawatts per meter square. Why I have written per meter square? Because heat flux is a heat transfer rate per area, per unit area. Heat flux is heat transfer rate per unit area. That is known as heat flux. Heat transfer per area. That's why 0.39 megawatts per meter square. Next, second bit, how do you calculate boiling heat transfer coefficient? Boiling heat transfer coefficient, how do you calculate? That is, heat transfer rate is equal to HA into delta T. H is the boiling heat transfer coefficient, but area is unit area. That's why heat flux small q is equal to H into area 1 meter square. That's why heat flux Q is equal to small q H into the surface temperature of the wire minus saturation temperature. Surface temperature of the wire given. Surface temperature given at 200 degrees centigrade. Surface temperature of the wire given at 200 degrees centigrade. But how do you calculate saturation temperature? Because you have submerged this wire in the water and you are heating the wire. That's why how much, because boiling, whenever you heat the water, whenever it reaches some temperature at a given pressure, then boiling takes place. That temperature is known as saturation temperature, corresponding to the given pressure. But at 1 bar, atmospheric pressure, saturation temperature is 100 degrees centigrade, water. But if you increase the pressure, saturation temperature increases. That's why, so water boils at 164.97. If you increase the pressure on the water above the atmosphere, saturation temperature also increases. That's why So you have to find out saturation temperature at the given pressure of the water. So corresponding 7 bar of water, saturation temperature from the steam tables or from the Eaton Master data book or steam tables. T saturation 164.97 degrees centigrade. 164.97 degrees centigrade saturation temperature. Okay, now that is taken from the tables. Now, heat boiling heat transfer coefficient that are already given while discussing the initial concept of boiling. Boiling heat transfer rate is equal to HA into delta T excess. Here delta T excess Ts minus T saturation. Per unit area H into Ts minus C saturation. Therefore, from this boiling heat transfer coefficient H is equal to, so heat flux divided by Ts minus T saturation. That is equal to 0.39. This one 0.39 10 power 6 watts. You have to convert it into watts. That's why 0.39 megawatts in watts, 0.39 into 10 power 6 divided by Ts, surface temperature, 200 degrees centigrade given. T saturation 164.97. From this, boiling heat transfer coefficient 11,133.3 watt per meter square Kelvin or watt per meter square degrees centigrade. So here if you observe, boiling heat transfer coefficients are very large, 11,133. But normal free convection and forced convection, that will be around, in the free convection, that will be 50 to within 100 watt per meter square, whereas the forced convection up to 400 to 600 watts per meter square degree centigrade. But if you go for boiling and condensation, heat transfer, the heat transfer coefficients are large. Heat transfer rates as well as megawatts, heat transfer rates as well as heat transfer coefficients are large when compared with free convection and normal general free convection and forced convection heat transfer coefficient. So boiling and condensation heat transfer coefficients are very large. So like that, you can solve the problems under boiling. So if you know the concept, it is very easy. Now, so read the second problem. A nickel wire of 1 mm diameter and 400 mm long carrying current is submerged in a water bath which is open to atmospheric pressure. Calculate the voltage at the burnout point. At the burnout point, the critical heat flux. Whenever the material reaches the critical heat flux, then material burnout. The critical heat flux value is known as burnout point or critical heat flux. So calculate the voltage at this burnout point. If at this point the wire carries a current of 190 amperes. So again here, how do you calculate voltage at the burnout? But you have to calculate critical heat flux. Critical heat flux in this condition. Once you calculate the critical heat flux, then Q is equal to voltage into current. From that you can calculate the voltage, burnout voltage. Voltage be equal to heat transfer rate Q by I. But capital Q, small q into area. From this you can calculate voltage of the burnout voltage. So okay, for that you have to calculate critical heat flux or burnout heat flux. Here diameter of the wire, here nickel wire of 1 mm diameter. Diameter of the wire given as 0.001 meters. Length of the wire given as 400 mm, that is 0.4 meters. And atmospheric pressure is atmospheric pressure. That is water will be at 100 degrees centigrade. That's why, so diameter 0.001 meters, length 0.4 meters, current given as 190 amperes. So because here the water bath is at open to atmospheric pressure, that's why pressure is 1 bar. At 1 bar, the saturation temperature 100 degrees centigrade. That's why you have to note down the thermophysical properties of water and vapor, water vapor. At 100 degrees centigrade R, density of the liquid, the water, density of the fluid, 958.4 kg per meter cube. That you have to note down from the data book. And density of vapor, water vapor, at 100 degree centigrade. That also available Eaton Master data book. 0.5955 kg per meter cube. And at 100 degrees centigrade, latent heat of vaporization of water, HFG, latent heat of vaporization, 2257, 2257 kilojoules per kg. And surface tension sigma, 58.9 into 10 power minus 3 Newton per meter. So all these values are to be noted down from the tables, Eaton Master data book. So here, water is at atmospheric pressure, that is saturation temperature 100 degrees centigrade. That's why you have to note down these parameters from the Eaton Master data book. So here, after noting down these values, density of the liquid, density of vapor, rho v, density of liquid, density of water at 100 degrees centigrade, density of vapor at 100 degrees centigrade, and HFG, latent heat of vaporization, and surface tension, 58.9 into 10 power minus 3 Newton per meter. So at this, what will be the burnout voltage VB that is to be calculated. For that, at burnout, you have to calculate the critical heat flux. The points of critical heat flux from the correlation already given. Critical heat flux in the nuclear boiling I given as 0.18 into rho v to the power of into HFG into G into sigma into rho L minus rho v in whole to the this square bracket whole to the power 1 by 4. So critical heat flux, small q, critical heat flux, small q, heat transfer rate per unit area. Critical heat flux, the formula 0.18 into rho v whole to the power 1 by 2 HFG into G into sigma surface tension into rho L minus rho v square bracket whole to the power 1 by 4. So 0.18 rho v, density of water vapor 0.5955 at 100 degrees centigrade. 0.5955 whole to the power of here whole to the power of into HFG 2257 kilojoules. That you have to convert joules. 2257 into 1000 joules into G 9.81 sigma 58.9 into 10 power minus 3 Newton per meter. 58.9 10 power minus 3 into rho L, density of liquid water or density of liquid, rho F, fluid 958.4 at 100 degrees centigrade. Generally 1000 kg per meter cube in the room temperature, but at 100 degrees centigrade, 958.4 minus density of vapor 0.5955, 0.5955, this square bracket whole to the power 1 by 4. From this, you can calculate critical heat flux from this formula already given yesterday in the last class. 1.5 to 10 power 6 watt per meter square. Critical heat flux. At this heat flux, if we heat that wire, your material may burn out. If you heat the wire, this wire, a nickel wire, at 100 degrees centigrade, so the heat, the critical heat that is required to burn out 1.52 into heat flux, critical heat flux, 1.5 10 power 6 watt per meter square. If you supply this much of critical heat flux, your that wire, this wire, a nickel wire, will burn out. What is the burnout voltage you have to calculate? How do you calculate? Electrical input to the wire, general formula, heat transfer rate, Q is equal to voltage into current. From this, burnout, B for burnout, voltage, burnout. So burnout voltage, how do you find? Therefore, burnout voltage VB is equal to heat transfer rate divided by Q by I, current. That is equal to, but heat transfer rate, total heat transfer rate, you know the heat flux value. But how do you get total heat transfer rate? Heat flux is equal to Q by A. From that, Q is equal to heat flux into area. That's why burnout voltage VB is equal to heat flux into area divided by current. I is the current, CRI, current in amperage. So heat flux you have calculated 1.5 to 10 power 6 into area, surface area of the wire. In the last the problem, How we are calculated surface area? Pi dl divided by current given as 190 amperes. At that current, and your wire may burn out, and what is the burnout voltage, that is to find out. So that is equal to 1.5 to 10 power 6 into pi into diameter of the wire 1 mm. 1 mm into, so 1 into 10 power minus 3 in meters into L. What is the length of the wire? Length of the wire 400 mm. The 400 into 10 power minus 3, 400 into 10 power minus 3. And if you calculate this calculation from this, burnout voltage will be coming as 10.05 volts. 10.05 volts. Like that, the problems are very easy. Only thing is you have to practice the problems and you have to know the basic concepts of boiling, and if you have to know these correlations. Generally these correlations, sometimes they may, some correlations are readily available from the heat and mass transfer data book. Okay na? Now, so just like first and second problem, there are two more problems. Third problem, water is boiled at rate of 25 kg per hour in a polished copper pan, 280 mm in diameter. Yet that is just like a diameter of the pan, copper pan, just like a pan, the circular shape. Yet atmospheric pressure. Assume nuclear boiling conditions. Calculate the temperature of the bottom surface of the pan. That is bottom surface of the pan. Here heat transfer rate Q is equal to HA into Ts minus T saturation. From the Ts to be calculated here. So mass of the water is boiled, mass of the water 25 kg per hour, and diameter of the pan, that is just like circular diameter, 280 mm, 0.28 meters. So because here properties of water at atmospheric pressure, that is to be taken, because temperature, saturation temperature 100 degrees centigrade at atmospheric pressure. So properties of water to be taken at atmospheric pressure, that is 1 bar. T saturation 100 degrees centigrade. Density of the water, liquid, rho, density of the liquid, rho L, 958.4. Density of vapor, the water vapor, 0.5955 kg per meter cube. That's the properties of water at atmospheric pressure from the tables. So specific of liquid at constant pressure, 4220 joule per kg Kelvin. Dynamic viscosity, mu L of the liquid, that is 279 into 10 power minus 6. Prandtl number for this water 1.75. Latent heat of vaporization HFG 2257 kilojoules per kg. So surface tension sigma 58.9 into 10 power minus 3 Newton per meter. Already in the earlier problem, the same data at 100 degrees centigrade. And here N is equal to 1 for water. Okay na? Here excess temperature Ts1 T saturation. So excess temperature Ts to be find out. Ts. What is surface temperature of the pan? Saturation temperature 100 degrees centigrade, because at the water is at atmospheric pressure. For that, for nuclear boiling, so I have given the formula for heat transfer rate. Qs, heat flux in the nuclear boiling condition. Heat flux, surface heat flux. Q heat flux Qs surface is equal to mu L into HFG into G into rho L minus rho V divided by sigma whole to the power 0.5 into square bracket, within the square bracket CPL, specific delta T XS, constant CSL into HFG, Prandtl number L, that is N here 1. That's why Prandtl number whole to the whole cube. So for polished copper pan, from the tables, from the heat and mass transfer data book, this is available. All of you listen very carefully. From the heat transfer data book, for polished copper pan, constant CSL, this constant CSL, surface to liquid, S for surface, L for liquid, liquid here water. That is constant from heating up from the surface to liquid. You are heating the water in the copper pan. That's why that for copper pan, constant C from surface to liquid, that 0.013. So from this surface heat flux, how do you calculate surface heat flux? Capital Q by area. But here for 1 kg latent evaporation heat is kilojoules. 2257 kilojoules are required for 1 kg of boiling. But here the boiling flow rate is, or boiling water is boiled at the rate of 25 kg per hour. That's why surface heat flux, capital Q, mass of the water into HFG. For 1 hour, this is the heat. For total mass, 25 kg per hour. So mass into HFG, that is from the basics. Heat transfer Q is equal to mass into HFG divided by area, then heat flux QS. That is mass 25 kg per hour, but you have converted to kg per second. 25 by 3600 into HFG 2257 into 10 cube, because this is in kilojoules. You have to convert it into joules. Divided by area 5/4 d square, here circular shape. Pan is in circular shape. So area, that's surface circular area, 5/4 is because circular shape. That's why here not wire, here pan. So surface area of the circle, area of the circle otherwise 5/4 d square, 0.28. Diameter of the diameter of the pan 280 mm, that 0.28 meters whole square. From this heat flux QS from 2,54,544 watt per meter square. So you require heat flux. How do you calculate? By using this formula Q by A. But how do you calculate Q? Mass into latent heat of vaporization divided by area. Mass kg per hour, but you are counting kg per second. 25 divided by 3600. And HFG 2257 joule, kilojoules. You are converted to joules into 1000 divided by circular area, pan area 5/4 d square. From this surface heat flux, that is 2,54,544 watt per meter square. So because, so you substitute QS here, all others are available. Delta TXS you calculate. Calculate delta TXS from this formula, delta T. So 2,54,544 is equal to mu L, that is 279 into 10 power minus 6. 279 10 power minus 6 into HFG again, that is 2257 into 10 cube in joules into G 9.81. So rho L 958.4 minus rho V 0.595 the year 0.5955 divided by CSL 0.013 into HFG 2257 10 cube into Prandtl number for water, that is here in this Prandtl number given as 1.75. So Prandtl number to the power n is equal to 1. That's why Prandtl number L only. So Prandtl number about 1.75. From this, so you are getting here only unknown parameter delta TE, that is excess temperature, delta TE 12.2. That is equal to TS minus T saturation. How do you calculate surface temperature of the pan? From this excess temperature. How do you calculate excess temperature? TS minus T saturation, surface temperature minus saturation temperature. So surface temperature to be calculated. Saturation temperature 100 degrees centigrade at atmospheric pressure. So from the TS is equal to 12.2 plus T saturation. 12.2 plus 100. That is equal to 112.2 degrees centigrade. Like that. So these are problems are very easy. But only thing is you have to practice some problems. Next. So that's about nuclear boiling problems. Now we'll solve some small problem under this film boiling. Film boiling. A metal clad heating element, metal heating element of 10 mm diameter and emissivity 0.92 is submerged in a water bath horizontally. A metal clad heating element of 10 mm diameter and emissivity 0.92 is submerged in a water bath horizontally. See, emissivity here, radiation effect. If the surface temperature metal is 260 degrees centigrade Ts under steady boiling conditions, calculate the power dissipation per unit length for the heater. Power, that is heat transfer rate. For the heater, power dissipation, heat dissipation, Q. That is HA into delta Ts minus T saturation. Assume water is exposed to atmospheric pressure and is at a uniform temperature. So 100 degree centigrade, pressure 1 bar. So diameter of the wire here given. Diameter of the wire 10 mm. That's 0.01 meters. Emissivity of the here radiation also comes into play. That's why in the film boiling radiation effect. Emissivity 0.92. Surface temperature 260 degrees centigrade. And thermophysical properties of water at 100 degrees centigrade. Already we have noted down from the earlier rho L to rho F is equal to 958.4 kg per meter cube. HFC 2257 kilojoules per kg. And thermophysical properties of water at 260 degrees centigrade rho V. Here 260 degrees centigrade 4.807 kg per meter cube. CPV 2.56 kg kilojoules per kg Kelvin. K thermal conductivity 0.033 watt per meter Kelvin. And dynamic viscosity of the vapor, the gas 14.85 10 power minus Newton second per meter square. So excess temperature delta T, surface temperature 260 given, saturation temperature at atmosphere that 100 degrees. So excess temperature 260 minus 100, that is 160. Because from the boiling curve, if you observe up to 150 degrees centigrade, the nuclear boiling. Above 150 degrees centigrade, film boiling. That's why. So from the boiling curve, it is observed that at excess temperature 160 degrees centigrade, so there exists a film full boiling condition. Full boiling, film boiling. In this case, the heat transfer is due to both convection and radiation. In the film boiling conditions, how do you calculate heat transfer coefficient H? We can convection heat transfer coefficient as a radiation heat transfer coefficient. That is, so overall heat transfer coefficient or effective heat transfer coefficient in the film boiling, H convection plus 3/4 H radiation. For that, you have to calculate H convection and you have to calculate H radiation. So convection heat transfer coefficient, H convective, I given the formula 0.622 kV cube. That is kV cube. That is thermal conductivity vapor into density rho V, density of vapor, rho L, density of liquid minus rho V, density of vapor into G, into H of G plus 0.4 into CPV into delta T, all divided by mu V into D into delta T excess. That is given in the last class in this formula. All to the power square bracket all to the power 1/4. So substitute the available values from the data book, you can get all these values. So 0.62 into kV, thermal conductivity of vapor 0.0331. 0.0331 cube into rho V here, rho V 4.807 into 954, rho L 954.4, rho V 4.807 into G 9.81, HFG 2257 into 10 cube joules, 0. Plus 0.4 into CPV here, CPV. So specificate of the vapor at constant pressure 2.56 into 10 cube into delta T excess 160 divided by dynamic viscosity of the vapor 14.85 into 10 power minus 6 into diameter of the that here diameter of the metal cladding 10 mm, so 0.01 meters into delta T excess, that is 260 minus 100, 160. From this, convective heat transfer H convection 395.84 watt per meter square Kelvin. Similarly, you have to calculate H radiation also, radiation heat transfer coefficient, H radiation heat transfer coefficient due to radiation, H radiation heat transfer coefficient. How do you calculate? I given the formula in the last class, 5.67 10 power minus 8 into epsilon emissivity into Ts to the power 4 minus T saturation to the power 4 divided by Ts minus T saturation. So 5.67 into 10 power minus 8 into epsilon emissivity 0.92 into surface temperature here 260. 260 plus 273 here. You have to convert into Kelvin. Because here to the power 4 to the power 4. We're not taking a difference. That's why you have to convert into Kelvin. So 260 plus 273 to the power 4 minus T saturation 100 degrees centigrade, 100 plus 273 to the power 4 divided by Ts surface temperature 260 plus 273 minus saturation temperature 100 degrees centigrade, 100 plus 273. From this, if you calculate this one, radiation heat transfer H radiation 20 watt per meter square degree centigrade. So if you observe, when compared to convection heat transfer, radiation heat transfer is very low. That's why sometimes you can neglect or you can calculate by using this formula. Therefore, combined heat transfer by combining convection and radiation, H is equal to 395.84 plus 3 by 4, this 3 by 4 into 20. From this, so effective heat transfer coefficient by combining convection and radiation in the film boiling is equal to 410 watt per meter square Kelvin. 410 watts per meter square Kelvin or degree centigrade. So once you know the H, once you know the area, how do you calculate heat dissipation per unit length for the heater? Q is equal to HA delta Txs. H into area pi dl per unit length. So pi d into length 1 meter into delta Tx 260 minus 100. That is equal to H value, combined H value 410 into pi diameter 0.01 per unit length. Length is 1 meter. So into 1 into 260 minus 100, that is 160. That is 2090 watt per meter length. The heat dissipation from the unit length of that heater wire. So H into pi dl into delta T excess. H, this calculated value 410 into pi 3.14 into diameter 0.01 per unit length 1 meter into 260 minus 100, 160, 2090 watt per meter. Like that, you can solve some problems on this boiling and condensation. So boiling first. So next class we'll go for the condensation aspects. Okay, today I'm some other work, examination work. That's all for today. So I'm closing. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, sir.
హలో జేఎన్టీ ఎగ్జామ్స్ జేఎన్టీ టైం టేబుల్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత పెడతారమ్మా డేట్ ఇంకా రాలేదు ఓకేనా